Hi everybody. I wanted to do this video just to talk about my pregnancy. I am 42 years old and my husband and I are expecting our fifth child. Our oldest daughter is in her 20s and she's married. Our next oldest is 18. The next child is 11 years old and our son is going to be 8 years old this week. And so we were shocked to find out, again, I'm 42, that we are expecting our fifth child. One of the biggest concerns is the fact that I am high risk. I have a history of pre-eclampsia with all of the children and high blood pressure and all of that. So the biggest thing is really keeping my blood pressure under control and seeing the doctors and the specialists. We've had some challenges here because here in South Florida, it's very hard to find really, really good doctors. We've already been through two OB doctors. The one practice was just so huge. The second one, the doctor basically scolded us and said, hey, why are you having a kid at 42? And it wasn't so much about taking care of me. It was more so the whole visit with this doctor was a lecture on why were you not taking birth control pills and why didn't your husband get a vasectomy? And it's just funny how they try to force things on families. I have my personal reasons why. I don't necessarily believe in birth control. And one of the reasons is health concerns. A few years ago, when I had benign lumps in both of my breasts, it was very ironic to me that all of the breast surgeons, and I went to 3 just to get different opinions because they were talking about, removing breast tissue. All of them asked the same question. And that question was, were you ever on birth control pills? And this was before they knew the lumps were benign. And I said, no, I've never been on birth control pills. And they're like, what about 10 years ago? What about 20 years ago? And so there seems to be a link between, I speculate, between breast cancer and birth control pills. And I don't think they want to really talk about that. And, again, that's my speculation based on my experience with talking to breast surgeons who all asked me the same exact question about, basically trying to find the link between birth control pills and the lumps that I had in my breast. Thank God all of that was benign. It was non-cancerous. But with this pregnancy, I have been really tired. I'm actually going into the second trimester, and what I've been feeling is a lot of exhaustion. But other than that, everything has been really great. Finding doctors have been the challenge. Today, I saw a perinatologist, which is a specialist that sees high-risk mothers. And so we were able to get the ultrasound to rule out Down syndrome. Now they do the ultrasound of the back of the baby's neck at an early stage. And so everything was fine with that. Also the blood work. They also do blood work, which is like 99% effective of finding Down syndrome and all of that. And they also can tell the sex of the baby with this early blood testing as early as 10 weeks, which is amazing. I mean, 8 years ago, that was not an option for us. And so we had to wait and, see the sex of the baby with the actual ultrasound. But my husband and I are I think, being pregnant in our 40s. I think one of the things I see is that we're a lot more relaxed. We're a lot more cautious. My husband doesn't want me to do anything. He doesn't let me lift a finger. He's like, I just want you on the couch, relaxing, because he does know my history. And, our last couple kids were born at around 30 weeks, weighing 2 pounds and having to go into the NICU. And the NICU can be a nightmare. We had some horror stories from that, but thankfully, thank God, all of our children are healthy today. And we're praying for baby 5. And, but I think we're more relaxed in our 40s. We're more we've been down this road. My husband is a lot more, I don't know what's the right word, but he's a lot more concerned, a lot more, just more involved. And the fact that we are planning to retire here in the next couple of years. We are entrepreneurs. We're debt-free entrepreneurs. We own 41 acres of land. That's that picture right there in the background in Montana. So we've already had planned to start building our home on our 41 acres of land in Montana. Not sure how much of that will get done with now the news of having another baby. Right now we're here at our home in South Florida, but we will, Lord willing, get that house built debt-free out in Montana. But I think that's one of the things is, if I can encourage any of you guys, get out of debt, stay out of debt, and build wealth. So if you have a surprise baby in your 40s, you can enjoy it and not have the stress of trying to work and the stress of trying to do life and pay bills. We're in a much more relaxed state because of the decisions we made when we were in our late 20s and early 30s. And so we had already planned to retire and sell our company and really just focus on raising our children, because we are a homeschooling family. We homeschool all of our kids. And our focus is really leaving a legacy. And we help others too. We coach people. I'll put a link in the profile where you can join our weekly coaching sessions where we teach people how to get out of debt and how to build wealth and how to build a business. I think entrepreneurship is so key in the times that we're living in. But I want to do this video just to let everybody know what's happening with me. A lot of my Instagram followers at Black Home Educators were giving me a lot of advice about seeing a midwife when they started hearing some of the bad doctor stories that I've been experiencing so far with this pregnancy. And a lot of them are not aware that women who are high risk as far as not just their age, because you can certainly have a home birth or go to a birthing center at my age. But when you have a history of severe pre-eclampsia, as I do, with having to have magnesium administered to you afterwards to prevent a stroke, it's not really possible to do home births and all of that other stuff. And so I really would love to, because it would save us tons of money. My husband is so frugal, he would love that. But it's just for us, it looks like we will have to deliver at a hospital, which is more concerning now with COVID, because they're really only letting one person in, which will be my husband. And I won't be able to have my adult children come in there in the room with me and be there to be a part of the team. So we don't know. I mean, COVID is still increasing, but I'm due in the spring. And so we'll have to see what it looks like. And then the other concern is having to wear a mask. Some moms I saw were online where there are moms that had to deliver with a mask. And then some, they gave them a COVID test, and then they didn't have to, push with the mask on. So, which, with giving birth is already tough with the breathing. And then, having a mask on. So hopefully I'll have to figure out which hospital we're planning to deliver at and see what their COVID rules are. Certainly I know everybody has to be safe, including keeping the nurses safe. But that makes it tougher. So yeah, if you can have a baby at a birth center or have a baby at home, I've always dreamed of that. That is ideal. It's less expensive. You get more personalized care. Just like when I went to my perinatologist today, they were not even in the building. They did a virtual. The doctors are just home chilling while they're putting their nurses and everybody else at risk. But they're so high and mighty that they're behind a screen seeing patients that come into the office. And which I'm not happy about that, because at some point in my pregnancies in the past, I've developed swelling. How are they going to assess for the edema if they're not even there? And I would also like for the doctor to check the blood pressure. But for now, I have to see this big group because they're like a monopoly here in South Florida. But I am still looking for perinatologist, OB doctor. It's very, very tough. And African American women have to be especially careful because studies show that we're 2 to 6 times more likely to die in childbirth than white women. And that's for a number of reasons. You know, Black women don't typically get the same care. A lot of times, like with Serena Williams, if she didn't advocate for herself, she could have died after she had her baby. She insisted on them doing tests on her when she was having the pains. And I think they found a clot. I mean, like a blood clot. So thank you guys. I appreciate your prayers. We're excited, but you know, we are taking precautions and with diet and all that stuff. And those are all the things we're doing holistically, you know, herbal teas, hibiscus tea to keep the blood pressure down. We're doing a lot of that stuff, as well as looking into, you know, other alternative ways. And preferably we go to 36 weeks. That's our goal, is 36 weeks, because we've delivered at 36 weeks before, with the, you know, earlier 2 children. The last 2 were severely premature, and that's what we're really trying to avoid. But our hopes is that we get a good team of doctors and nurses that can see us through this. And I'll keep you guys updated. I'll come on here every week and keep you updated. We're, you know, maybe not every week, but every time I have a doctor's appointment. I have another ultrasound next week. And then I have the 16-week ultrasound to check my cervix to make sure that it's not shortening. But this is the little short video I wanted to do to give you guys an update, and thanks for your prayers. Be blessed.